Whew, it's hot in here. I record these in a closet that doesn't have a window because it gets really good sound quality, but damn, it's summertime and it gets hot in here. I forgot. Jeez. Need like some water or something. Hang on a minute. Almost knocked the microphone off the stand, but hydration is the key to more success. Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another installment of Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews. This episode is on Tales on the Rails. Okay, I was a little confused. I thought it was Tales from the Rails. No, it's Tales on the Rails. Let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Tales on the Rails. So Tales on the Rails has a bit of a short lifespan. It was released on digital HD on November 10th of 2015. I got the date right this time. I learned my lesson from last week. And it was released onto physical media on November 24th of 2015. And I remember picking this up in a Target. I was there with, I think it was my mom, and she was like, "Why are you buying that?" I'm like, "It's new. I have to have it." And she's like, "You spend all your money on this useless stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Have you seen my room? Have you seen all those pop figures I have everywhere? Of course, this was back in 2015 when I had just started that, so I probably only had about 20, 30 back then. Nowadays, it's blown up to 100. Anyway, can you tell that the heat in this closet is getting to my head? Let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Tales on the Rails. Alrighty everyone, here's your close-up look at Tales on the Rails, aka the release in where the picture quality looks like somebody took a giant dump on the screen. Yeah, I'll bring this up in the ending section, but this picture quality is piss poor. But anyway, Thomas & Friends logo, Tales on the Rails. Kind of a simple logo, but I kind of like it, I guess. Thomas Percy up there on the front going down a hill. What it looks like. Simple cover. Side entertainment logo, Thomas Friends. Tales on the Rails, portrait of Thomas, DVD logo, Universal. I am getting really sick and tired of saying these same things over and over again. Can you tell? Can we change it up a little bit here? Please. Tales of bold and daring adventures with the Thomas Friends logo. Blurb. Thomas and Salty on the back. Salty's looking a bit worried there. I'm sure if we took a look behind the image here, there'd be a dude holding an AR-15 next to his face, like, "You better smile in the picture or else I'll blow your face off, buddy boy." And then Thomas also looks kind of worried too. Maybe he's like, "Salty, I'm sorry, but like, I let this terrorist into our country. I'm so sorry because we're part of England and England banned guns, but we let terrorists into our country." I digress. Bonus features include All You Need Are Friends and Fun with Driver Perkins. That's a music video. I kind of like how the bonus features is a ticket stub. That's cool. Link to the Thomas Friends website, tech specs. Open this up. Disc is a squished up version of the poster art, and it honestly feels really cheap. There's no like sheen over top of this. It just feels, it feels cheap. Like, there's no shiny sheen over top of it. It's just black. They just shat this onto a DVD. That's what this looks like. Anyway, let's go ahead and transition into our menu tour of Tales on the Rails because the close-up is finished. Okay everyone, here's your menu tour for Tales on the Rails. Wow, this PQ is not great. I mean, the menu doesn't look that bad, but wow, the episodes are going to look even worse than the menu. The menu doesn't even look that stunning. Episode selection, what episodes do we have? Very Important Sheep, Salty, All at Sea, Den and Dart, Duck and the Slip Coaches, and Missing Gator. Interesting. Season 19, Season 18. These were two stories where we were actually missing from the U.S. home video market for Season 18. And we're still, to this very freaking day, missing two Season 18 stories. We, here in the U.S., do not have Toad's Bright Idea and Spencer's VIP on DVD because apparently Mattel forgot about it. So we don't have those two stories over here in the U.S. We also still don't have French. French is still gone, and it's still the same language selection menu. That's still very lazy. Bonus features. All You Need Are Friends and Fun with Driver Perkins. So that's another one of those little learning segments there. Yay, what fun. So that's the menu tour for Tales on the Rails. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? You can't find this in stores. Online retailers is your best bet. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? This release actually has some pretty good stories on it. I actually really like Very Important Sheep. I think it was Roman was complaining about that episode when it first came out. He was like, it's not good. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. And he's like, no, it's not. And then we punched each other in the face. Salty All at Sea, I think, is a little weird considering the fact that, Salty loves the sea and all that, but he's afraid to go on the ship. I think that's actually a cool conflict, but it's a little weird to see that on screen. I think personally that Den and Dart is the best story on here. I mean, I know that, yeah, Duck and the Slip Coaches is on here, and yeah, that's a good one too, but Den and Dart, removing the fact that it's a story that I cannot say without stuttering to save my life, it's really good. It builds upon both of the characters of Den and Dart and shows why they need each other, or really why Den needs Dart and Dart needs Den, And also, Den kind of comes into his own with this story, and his character arc actually sticks. One of the rare occurrences in Thomas and Friends where a character's arc actually sticks and doesn't go away in the next story and they learn the exact same lesson. Already talked about Duck and the Slip Coaches. That's a really good story. It's weird hearing the US narration as a dude who watched the UK dub of that when it first came out and pretty much stuck with that for like half a year. It's weird hearing the US voices say those iconic lines. Hello, Duck. Nice to see you. Like, nah, that's... Nah. It should be, hello, Duck. Nice to see you. US dub is still better. Missing Gator. It's an episode I'm not too big of a fan of because it references Tale of the Brave, and y'all know how much I hate Tale of the Brave, ha! Nah, that's really not the reason. I just don't think it's a good episode. How could I go throughout this entire section without mentioning the picture quality like I have mentioned in past HMRs? This picture quality looks like total dog feces. I don't think you could have caught it on camera. It probably looks okay at best on camera. I know there were some people in the comments a couple of weeks ago saying, okay, well, why don't you just get a better TV? It's not the TV. Okay, well, why don't you just get a better DVD player? It's not the player. It's what's on that disc. They shat that onto that disc. They gave us that picture quality on that disc, and I'm not happy about it. And that's because of the limitations of the format that it's on. They render these stories in at least full 1080p, full HD. But they scale them down so much to put them on that tiny disc that they look almost that they're like 360p. The highest quality that DVD can reach is 480p. But these do not look 480p, okay? And I'm pretty sure that my Blu-ray player upscales because this looks really bad on my Blu-ray player for some reason. Whenever I put it in my computer that I know doesn't upscale, it looks semi-okay. But on my Blu-ray player, it looks awful. Like, it tries to upscale it to 720p, but it fails because it looks terrible because of how they mastered that DVD. It's got nothing to do with the Blu-ray player. It's got nothing to do with my TV. It's what they put on that disc. And I had noticed a picture quality drop since Adventure Begins. I could notice little lines in the frames. I could notice little pixels were kind of dead in a few shots. But with Tales on the Rails, it's the straw that broke the camel's back because this just looks terrible. There's no reason that we as consumers should get that kind of terrible picture quality with this. There's no reason that we should get this bad of a master. There's absolutely no excuse for that. And ever since Tales on the Rails, I've been a huge critic of the picture quality on these releases. It gets kind of better with Start Your Engines. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil that. It gets kind of better, but it never reaches what it was back with Spills and Thrills, Trouble on the Tracks. Those actually looked good. And I don't know what happened. Why did we get such bad transfers for this, but good transfers for those? Anyway, that's the end of this rant on the picture quality. I'm torn whether or not I should recommend Tales on the Rails because I like the stories, but the picture quality just looks too awful. This is the problem with my rating system. I can't say maybe. I have to say yes or no. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. Oh, air conditioning, I love you. Okay, I'm back. This is a first for HMR, okay? So hold on to your socks. Unless you're not wearing them, in which case hold on to your underwear. I've got a coin in my hand right here. It's a quarter. Go ahead and tell you what state it's from. It's from Oregon. Interesting. From 1859. But it also has another date, 2005. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I've got a coin in my hand. And you, the viewers, are going to decide whether or not I recommend Tales on the Rails. I want you to think really, really hard. And whatever you want me to say about this, try and think really, really hard and try and influence this coin flip, okay? Heads, I recommend. Tails, I not recommend, alright? Here we go. I promise you I will not fudge these. I have no reason to. Here we go, I'm flipping. It's heads, which means I recommend this. So, I recommend Tales on the Rails. That was a first for HMR. Hopefully it will never happen again. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? This doesn't have a slipcover, and the picture quality, you shouldn't pay over more than $3 for that. So that is the end of the HMR for Tales on the Rails. The coin flip was kind of fun. Maybe I should do that from now on. I have to get a camera and, show you that I actually had a coin. I did have a coin, though. I actually did. It's sitting right on my computer. You hear that? I'm flicking it. Y'all have to go by my word on that. I mean, I did have a quarter. Next week, I've actually already spoiled this. We're going to be taking a look at Start Your Engines. Of course, if you follow the timeline, none of this is spoiled. You know what's happening. You know what's coming up in the future. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.